In this video, we're going to run through how you can stop your videos looking like this and turn them into this. The best thing about it is we're only going to be using 2 lights. So let's get straight into it. Okay, this is what probably 99% of video setups look like if you just have the main lights on in an office or at your home or anywhere else. At the moment, you can see up here, there's I think what they're called panel lights. I have no idea what they're called. But if you've got, the standard lights or spotlights in a room, typically this is what it's going to look like. Normally you're going to have a white type wall behind you, and it doesn't look great as a backdrop for any of these videos as well. It looks a bit washed out, and it doesn't look like, it looks a bit tacky and a bit cheap. So this video is going to be great for people who don't necessarily have great backdrops, haven't got room for backdrops, don't want to spend loads of time setting up a set or painting walls or doing green screens. It's also going to be great for people who don't want to implement a professional lighting setup. And while I'm no professional lighterer, I don't even know what they're called. That's how unprofessional I am in lighting. I've worked out a way in which you can make videos look pretty good with just 2 lights. And to give you some context, and from YouTubing on my end and doing a media A-level, I know that's typically going to be a 3-point setup. And a traditional professional lighting setup will be your key light, which will be the main light over here. You have a fill light, which will then fill in the shadows on the side of your face. You'll then have some sort of backlight or rim light, maybe. I think they're called rim light. Backlight that sort of shines from behind you and which separates you, the subject, from the background. And then you have things like practicals, which are those lights or cool bulbs or, those cool graphics or signs in the background, which make the shot really pop and make it look really cool. Now in this video, obviously we're just going to have 2 lights, and the main light we're going to run through initially is the key light, which I'll get onto in a second. And then we've got some sort of light back here, which you may not be able to see, but I'll bring that up, which ultimately is kind of the mix between practical and a backlight. I'm not quite sure how it's categorized, but I'll turn them all off one at a time and all on one at a time so you guys can see exactly how it creates the effect. So let's get into it. First off, I need to go and turn off this light here so there's no lights on in this room, so it's going to be completely pitch black. So this is obviously how it looks pitch black, and there's not really much to see here. So the first thing I want to do is just turn on the key light, and this key light here is our Amaran 200X, and I'll link to everything we're using here in the show notes. Let's turn this on. As you can see, this is a really nice starting point to actually sort of take away the harsh light from above and shine that nice soft key light on the face. And in this, it's only about 35% power, and as you can see here from the app in itself, with 5,900 Kelvin. I believe 5,600 is daylight temperature, I believe. This one's slightly higher, and I'm going to be honest, I have no idea why, because I didn't do that on purpose. It just is. And the great thing about these lights here is you can actually have an app. So we've got the fixtures here, and I can see the 2 lights within here. I can turn them on and off. For example, this light here, if I wanted to go into this, I can turn it off and on. I can make it brighter, as you can see here, get really brighter, or turn it down. So this is a really good thing about the Amaran lights, which I'll link to below, because you can actually make them very highly customizable, and you can just turn them off. You can turn them on just sitting at your desk. Again, make it super easy. So that's the first one. So let's turn this light off now, and let's go on to the other fixture, which is the Amaran T2C. And the T2C, at the moment I kind of have a blue setting, and if I just turn this on, you can see it has a nice sort of like halo glow type effect around me. So it looks quite cool. It's like a little party strobe light scene. I imagine if you just did that faster, it'd be like some sort of party scene. Crazy. So you can play around with this, choose different colors. You'd want to have your brand colors behind you, your greens, your whatever. And again, this app makes it super easy to do, and you can set presets if you want to have different setouts for different days and different moods or whatever. So if I go back to the blue and go back onto fixtures, what we can see now is if we turn on both the lights, preset, we can see here, this is actually how it works with both of them. And we turn the backlight off. Again, it's going to be great for those who we don't want to have that white looking background behind us. We want to make sure it looks quite cool. And again, without having to change any of the wall color, without having to do a green screen, without having to do anything, we just have 2 lights here. This one here is about a 95-degree angle on my face. You can get a fill light then to sort of fill in the shadows, but I quite like the look of just having it sort of shining on one side of my face. Adds to the mystery. Also hides my imperfections, and the backlight obviously is quite good for separating from the background, and you can also create sort of vertical videos without there being any interruption with stuff around the sides. So that's very much the simple lighting setup. I found out one of the biggest barriers to not actually getting video done is spending ages on your setup. So this is something that I found actually works really nicely. Slightly different video today. I know I don't typically talk about this stuff much, but ultimately I just record marketing videos, and this is the way that I found it the easiest setup for myself, which doesn't look like I'm just recording it in a random room, which doesn't look great. If you guys want any more sort of information around this, let me know in the comments any bits which you're stuck on. If you want to hear more about potentially audio bits or other bits which actually help me create the videos. And again, if you want any of the links, I'll link to everything like the mic I use and the setup from that side all the way through to the cameras and the lenses, through to the lighting and the backlighting, all in the link in the comments below, as well as the editing software which I use to do these videos too. Hope you guys have a great week. Any questions, always just shout. Have a great day.